Hello and welcome to Chrome Computing. In this video, we'll be looking at what you can do if you are having trouble running out of RAM on your Chromebook. The problem is it's not that easy to add extra RAM to a Chromebook. So the only way you can physically add extra RAM is you'd have to go out and buy a new Chromebook with more RAM, which is not possibly something you are in a position to do right now. If you've got a 2 GB Chromebook, a Chromebook with 2 GB of RAM, you are most likely getting into a situation where you're running out of memory, and you may even be having that problem if you've got a Chromebook with 4 GB of RAM. You shouldn't have it as much, but if you've got a 2 GB RAM Chromebook, I can definitely see why this would be beneficial. Now, it's worth pointing out, this isn't as good as going out and buying a Chromebook with more physical RAM. That is obviously going to be the best way, but this is a good short-term method. And it's also worth pointing out that Chrome OS does already do this to some extent. But it's whether you want to leave it up to Chrome OS to do it, or you'd like to really put your own swap in there. And that's what it's called on Linux. It's called a swap. On Microsoft Windows, if you've used Microsoft Windows, you'll know it as virtual RAM, virtual memory, which is something that all computers use, but you can set your own limits. So I'll show you how to do that. So the first thing you need to do is you need to open a terminal, which is Control, Alt, and T. I've got two monitors, so it's opened up on the other side, so I'll just drag it over. So that's your terminal. As I says, it's Control, Alt, T to open that terminal. Now, to do the actual swap, what you need to type in here is, I'm awful with remembering commands. So it's swap enable. So that's what you do. Now, Google recommend you shouldn't really go over 2 GB. Not sure why. I don't know what the reason for that is. I can't see why you wouldn't be able to go over 2 GB, but it's up to you whether you want to experiment with this. Personally speaking, I've just left it at 2 GB. So to do 2 GB, you will be doing a swap enable 2000 and press return. And when you do that, that's it. Nothing else happens. Now, what this has done, it's used ZRAM, and ZRAM is a compact part of the storage which is used for additional RAM. So the operating system is set up to do this. And there's some people who might say, oh no, this ruins your static drive, because static drives, the read and write, over time they damage. You know what? I personally don't agree with that logic. It may have been the case years ago. It's outdated logic. You know, we've moved on a long way, and that isn't strictly true. And it's a ZRAM anyway, so it works totally different. So I wouldn't worry about it ruining your hard disk if you hear anything about that. So what this has done is added an extra 2 GB of RAM, but it is virtual RAM. So what that means is your computer will use your RAM as normal. And then when it starts running out of that RAM, it will go and use this 2 GB of virtual RAM that you've used. Now, I will show you, if you wanted to try it to see if it works, then fine. I'll show you obviously what you have to do if you then wanted to get rid of it, because of course this is reversible. Now, to reverse it, again, let me have a look what the command is. You just type in swap disable like that and press enter. Now, I'm not going to do that command, but just so you know, even if you did get that command, and it's the same when you did the swap enable 2000, it won't do it until you turn off the computer, and I'll show you now. So this computer has already got it not showing because I've cancelled it previously, and you can see that here. Yeah, there's nothing here. Now, it won't show until I turn off the computer. Obviously, I can't turn off the computer because I'm doing a video. So I took a photo earlier, screenshot, so I'll show you what that looks like. When you've added the swap and then turned off your Chromebook and turned it back on and do swap status, you'll see something similar to this. And that size there, believe it or not, does equal to 2 GB. And it's essentially within the Linux to cope with this sort of thing to do. Now, as I said, Chrome OS do say that it automatically happens. Question is, how much does it use? And question is, when does it kick in. I think this, by doing it this way, you possibly, informing your operating system to use it more often. Depends on what you want to do. It really is trial and error. Now, they do say you're using it at your own risk. However, they can say that, but this is Linux essentially, and it's a Linux. It's a Linux code that you can use, and it won't cause you any problems. It's there for that specific reason. So I think I've showed you everything you need to know. As I says, swap status will show you that it's on. To do it, you would type in Control-Alt-T to get to your terminal, and then in the command line you type in swap enable, and then a 2000 is 2 gigabyte. If you wanted to do 4 gigabyte, but I'm not saying to do so because I've not looked into it enough to see what it would do. I don't think it would do anything, if I'm being honest with you. It would obviously depend on your storage. If you've got a 2 gigabyte Chromebook, the likelihood is you've only got a 16 gigabyte of storage, maybe 32 gigabytes. So you've got to remember that you are sacrificing storage to do this, so don't go over the top with it. I would recommend staying with the 2000. Anyway, so that's how you do the swap. If you want to cancel it, you do, again, I forgot it already because I just do. I'm not very good at remembering codes. Swap disable. Oh, sorry. So you do swap disable and hit return. Again, when you do that, it won't show straight away when you do the, I'm pointing at the screen, you can't see the screen. When you do the swap status, it won't show. You'd have to turn off your computer, log back on, and then do your swap status, and it will show you that it's been activated, and it will also show you that you've cancelled it as well. So that is how you add an extra 2 gigabyte to your Chromebook. It is a short-term measure. I would recommend trying it to see if it helps. As I says, it should only really be a problem for more people with 2 gigabyte. If you have got 4 gigabyte of RAM, I think the only way you're possibly in a situation where you're running out of RAM is if you're opening tons and tons and tons of windows. You've got lots of stuff going on in the background. But yeah, give that a try. If you found it useful to cancel this, sorry, by the way, just type in exit and that will take you out the terminal. If you did like the video, please like below and subscribe to the channel for future videos. And thanks for watching. Bye.